So my name is Thomas Bach. I'm a project engineer with CPL. I've been with the company since 2016. That was while I was still in school. It was an internship, and then in 2018 I decided I liked the company and transitioned to full-time, and I've been there since. So I've been four years in this industry. So in my work, I've learned to focus more on site design and economic development type projects. So for site projects, the most important things is how traffic maneuvers through the site, how pedestrians maneuver through the site, and then also stormwater management. So that's where we have to deal with rainwater during storm events and treat it per Department of Environmental Conservation requirements. And then for economic development, that is where we work with local economic development corporations and help them set up what they like to call shovel-ready sites. And that means that all of the infrastructure, roads, water, sewer, electric, gas, is already at the site and helps encourage other companies to come in and develop and boost the local economy, add to the job force, and increase the tax base. So what we were looking at outside was the stormwater management facilities. And as you could see, there's two different areas. There's the first area that the ditch spills into, and that's a bioretention area, and that's what's used to treat the water and clean it, because as it rains on impervious surfaces like parking lots or buildings, it picks up contaminants like oil or dirt or whatever may be on there, and that area is used to filter it out, clean the water, and then from that area it would spill into the stormwater management pond, and that pond holds back a volume of water because as we develop a site, the increase in impervious area, which is parking lots, buildings, anything that doesn't infiltrate into the ground, there would be an increased runoff rate. In that area, the stormwater management pond is used to retain that increased volume and protect downstream structures from flooding or erosion or increased flow. So in my mind, the important impacts of my job is providing safe buildings, safe sites. So here at the Batavia Fire Station, we had to make sure that all different types of traffic could maneuver through the site. So passenger vehicles had to get to the parking lot while pedestrians are walking from their car to the building. We have to make sure fire trucks can get in and safely get into their parking bays. And then also on the stormwater management side, it's helping improve overall water quality. So eventually the water that falls on this site and picks up contaminants, that would flow into a creek, stream, lake, river, what have you. And what we do with those stormwater management facilities is treat this water to help prevent pollutants from getting into our water supply. A typical workday for me is, for the most part, in the office. I'd say it's probably 85 to 95% in the office, working on the computer. I use BIM technology, Building Information Modeling programs. So, for example, I use AutoCAD the majority of the time. And what we do with AutoCAD is that's what we use to create the construction drawings. So we draft plan sets for a contractor to use during construction and make sure they build the site how it was designed. We also use a bunch of other programs, like I've talked about the stormwater management. We use a program called HydroCAD, which that's where we size areas, make sure it can handle the flow that would come from the site. So also with my job, I do a lot of coordination between different disciplines. Which is actually the part I enjoy because I get to talk with a bunch of other people. I have to coordinate with the architect, the electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, and a whole bunch of other disciplines. And it's good to kind of come together, have a team effort, and make sure everything works. So if we were out to design our part separate, once it gets into construction, there would be overlap, things wouldn't be clear, and it'd come to a lot of issues later on. And then also within your own discipline, you work with other engineers. So being fairly new to the field, I'm learning a lot every day. So I work with a lot of older, more senior engineers who have years and years of design experience. And I have plenty of questions to them. They probably get annoyed every once in a while, but that's how you learn, is working with the experts in your field. And then one day, I'll be an expert helping the next generation come through.
I love that.
I love that too.
That was really good.
How did you decide to go into this line of work? What inspired or influenced your decision?
So I always was good at and liked math and science, so I always just figured naturally I'm going to be an engineer. I went to the RIT career exploration day when I was a senior in college or senior in high school, and I sat with mechanical engineering professors, electrical engineering professors, and civil engineering professors. And civil was the only one that really made sense to me. So in middle school and high school, the classes that were really beneficial for this line of work were the technology courses. So I was exposed to a lot of drafting programs like SolidWorks. I did a little bit of AutoCAD, not knowing that I would be going into this field and using it every day. So those were probably the most beneficial. Obviously math is important, and other than that, I think a lot of schools offer just engineering exploration classes within the technology programs, and I wish I took those because then I could have gotten a deeper look into each of the other disciplines before I went to RT and learned about the other industries. Soft skills or personality traits that are important within this line of work would be hardworking, have good attention to detail, and probably time management. There's so many intricacies between each of the disciplines that you have to coordinate, and that's when it's really important to pay attention to the fine details to make sure something isn't missed. And then also time management is important because it's very rare that you're only working on one project, so you'll have multiple deadlines at different times with different stages of the project, so you have to decide when to work on what and make sure you can meet all your deadlines and get what you need done. Typical starting salary, it depends for civil because there's many different routes that you can go. So you can go into construction management or design, or some people I graduated with prefer to just do inspection type work. So I would say the range is probably between 45 to 60,000 a year for starting salary. Benefits, CPL I know has pretty good benefits. They have a retirement plan match, health care, and just kind of the general thing. Vacation time is, we actually accrue it weekly, or I guess bi-weekly. Every pay period we accrue a certain number of hours, and then based on the amount of time you've been at the company, it increases. So I believe it started at 6.38 hours per pay period, which turned out to be about 3 weeks of paid vacation time. And then now being here for 2 years, it's increased to 7 point something, so you accrue a little bit more, maybe a couple extra days per year. But from what I've compared to other companies, that seems to be pretty standard and pretty flexible. And I guess another perk would be within this industry, a lot of things are deadline based. So if you get your work done, you can kind of have a pretty flexible schedule. Say you need to do something on a Tuesday afternoon, you have a dentist appointment. You can get your work done early or stay late another day and make up that time and not have to use your paid vacation. I would say days like today are what I like the most. It's really cool to be able to design something and then go out into the field and see it actually constructed. Being pretty new to this industry, there aren't too many projects that have gone to full construction, so just being out here today, even at the stage of this project, it's very interesting to see what I designed become reality. Difficult and challenging aspects of being a civil engineer is meeting different deadlines, because like I said, you have multiple different projects you're working on at different times, so it can be a bit overwhelming at times, but in the end it turns out to be very rewarding because you do a solid job and you make your client happy or your boss happy, and it's just very rewarding to work hard and see results come of it. For me, the most rewarding project I've worked on is this one that we're here today, the Batavia Fire Station. And that would be because this is the first project that I've really overseen from beginning design, early stages to through construction. Obviously we've worked with a team, but I was working closely with the civil project manager, and I was the lead project engineer, you could say. So it's pretty cool to see something that I've had a large involvement in come to reality. If I could tell my middle or high school self what I should do to prepare for this line of work, I would just encourage myself to take those technology classes, get as much information as I can, and also go shadow people in the field, because that would really allow you to go see what each of the disciplines are. Because with civil, it's very flexible. Like I said, you can go into construction management, structural engineering, transportation engineering, site engineering, there's just so many ways you can go, and it'd be interesting to see what each of those disciplines are like. So actually a great thing about CPL is we say we don't have a corporate ladder. Some of the very high up people in my company will correct you if you call them your boss. They'll say, no, we're coworkers, we all work together. So there's definitely a great opportunity for you to grow and increase the responsibilities you take on. And you kind of get responsibility as you can handle it. So you start off by getting what an entry-level person would get, and then as you grow, you have more knowledge and understanding and trust from your, I almost said bosses again, but coworkers. They'll hand you more work, more responsibility, and you can just grow from there. I think the biggest surprise coming into this field and working at CPL is how casual of an environment it is in the office. Everyone's friends, we all get along, we all joke around, we like to work hard and play hard, so we have a lot of fun along the way, do a lot of good work, and I'm just glad to see that we're all friends and work together, and it's not as serious of a work environment as I expected it to be coming into this field.